Hi, everybody. Good evening, and thank you for joining this town hall tonight on public safety. I'm Mayor Barbara Ann Keffer. And in general, so creating an engaged community is just one facet of my administration's goals of reforming, reinvesting, and revitalizing Upper Darby. Public safety is a key component of municipal services, and I'm happy to host this town hall with our police superintendent, Timothy Bernhardt, and fire chief, Derek Sawyer. They're going to discuss their initiatives and goals and answer your questions. And I thank them both for being here. They each do a fantastic job in their respective positions and have been a great help to my administration in implementing improved and modernized public safety measures. In order to support these two departments, my administration has put together a plan to distribute $3 million in ARPA, which stands for American Rescue Plan Act funding towards both departments. And that also includes $1 million to be dedicated towards gun violence prevention initiatives. These funds create a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to provide additional investment in our community. So part of the ARPA funding plan is allocated towards the construction of Upper Darby's first state-of-the-art community center, which will finally offer our residents a full-time dedicated space to gather, learn, and grow. It's easily accessible and environmentally friendly. One of the most important aspects of public safety is the safety of our children, and this community center will give them a safe indoor space to play, as well as recreational activities and new programming. Lastly, I would like to thank all of our attendees for coming. And it's always great to see our residents participating in the community and our initiatives. When this event was being organized, the situation concerning the COVID pandemic was still a bit uncertain. However, we do plan to do in-person town halls moving forward, barring any drastic change with COVID. I'd also, again, like to thank Superintendent Bernhardt and Chief Sawyer for all the hard work that they've been doing. During the meeting, questions are highly encouraged, and you can use the Q&A function on Zoom to submit those questions. This town hall is being live streamed and will be available on YouTube for anyone unable to attend at this time. And right now, I'd like to turn it over to Superintendent Timothy Bernhardt.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. Like the mayor said, my name is Tim Bernhardt, the superintendent of police. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through what we did here in 2021 last year, and then I'm going to highlight some initiatives that we have planned for 2022, the current year. So, Rose, if you could start off, there's the first slide. We'll go to the next one, please. So in 2021, we had 19 promotions. Just yesterday, we promoted 4 more. We promoted a captain yesterday, 2 lieutenants and a sergeant to our ranks. We hired 22 new police officers. That was the most diverse hiring in the department history, those 22. We also purchased new tasers. Taser 7 was the model. We also applied for a body camera grant, which was approved. And we have that equipment, and we are close to implementing body cameras on all of our police officers. We also purchased new firearms, more cost-efficient firearms. We are implementing our police athletic league that we are still working on. We are also in the process of the Pennsylvania Law Enforcement Accreditation. It's PLEAC Commission. And what that do is that will accreditate the entire police department. Rose, if you could do the next, please. To highlight some of those that I just mentioned. So the new tasers, the Taser 7. The Taser 7 gives officers the confidence to de-escalate dangerous situations. What we want to do is de-escalate things before they get themselves out of control. And this device, this tool is going to help us. It already has helped us. The new docking stations allow those tasers to be automatically updated on software and recharge the batteries. They also, because of these new tasers, we can download anytime they were used and have all the data right there at our fingertips. Rose, if you could go to the next, please. The K9 unit, the Upper Darby Township Police Department, we have 2 new canines for 2021. We also have our first female canine handler in department history. the two canines. Canine Juno is handled by Officer Rachel Keenan. Canine Bane is assigned to Officer Robert Scott. Bane and Juno are brother and sister, and they're both from the same litter, which uncommon. These two dogs were also raised in a family environment before they were given to us and before they were trained. It's to help one more step to further help with these dogs to be more socially friendly with the public. We will add 2 additional dogs this year in 2022. The police department, there you go, Rose, thank you. The police department accreditation. It is the Pennsylvania Law Enforcement Accreditation Commission. PLEAC is the acronym there. What the accreditation is going to do, it's going to help us increase training and reduce liability for the township. The department is held to a higher standard with this accreditation once we accomplish it. And it also builds community trust. It saves finances that we can then allocate to serve the community better by having other things here once we get accredited. Rose, if you could switch, there you go, thank you. The Police Athletic League that I spoke about. The purpose of the Police Athletic League is to help build relationships within the community and assist in positive development of the youth in Upper Darby Township. This is a key. We really want to engage our youth. PAL is also designed to give youth an alternative venue within the boundaries of Upper Darby. Instead of them just roaming around with nothing to do, we want to engage them and want to get them in the PAL program. Officers will work with the youth to build this relationship through coaching and mentoring. The PAL program is going to have a lot of opportunities for youth. It's just not going to be your classic basketball and somewhere to go. We're hoping to give them after school studies. We're hoping to give them opportunities for their GEDs, help them with getting their licensing, help them with anything that they need to do within the community. So the PAL program is going to expand every year. We're going to add to it. The TAPS program is another program that we initiated here. The acronym TAPS is Teen and Police Service Academy. TAPS places at-risk teens on equal footing with police in order to exchange ideas and learn from each other. We want to hear what they have to say, and we want them to hear what we have to say too, to work together. It started in 2021. We have 2 classes already complete in the program. We're getting ready to start our 3rd. And the kind of encompass, it's solutions to work better and to improve, to build and improve our relationship with the youth in our community. We are only one of 2 police departments that have that in the state of Pennsylvania. So we're really forward to have that, and we're looking forward to continue to grow. Next one, there you go, Rose, thank you. So also what we formed here in 2021 was a special investigations unit. It works with the Upper Darby School District for incidents that occur on the school property. It investigates juvenile crimes. It also handles sexual assaults. Last year, in the first year of its inception, it handled 537 investigations. We cleared 514 of them, of them, resulting in a 96% clearance rate. That unit also works with our victim advocate to get victims the help they need. It also works with our domestic abuse project. Those 2 units, our victim advocate and our domestic abuse project, we created last year, and then we actually have them in the police department now. So when there's an incident or someone needs help, a victim, they can come right here to police headquarters, and we can have those advocates go out with an officer to the location where those people might need it, as well as the domestic abuse project as well. They are also located in police headquarters. The first female detective has been assigned to the Special Investigators Unit, so we're very proud of that as well. Again, to highlight more, the Victim Assistant Advocate. As I said a second ago, they are now on site. They have offices in Upper Darby Police Headquarters. Those 2 numbers there are for those, the Crime Victim Services and the Domestic Abuse Project. Those 2 numbers for those 2 services are also on our websites as well. Next, there we go, Rose. So something I think that a lot of people don't know that I want to explain here, and when I have up the 911 Delaware County Emergency Services, when you call 911, the call is answered at the Delaware County Emergency Services Center located in Lima, PA. A call taker will answer that, and they take all the information that is needed from you. Those calls then for police services, emergency or non-emergency, are handled through 911. So regardless of what it is, that's who handles it, and it goes through 911. Those calls are then sent to a dispatcher who notifies the police officers that are actually working on the street. So there's some time there. When you pick up the phone and you call 911, we don't automatically get that. There's a time delay in it, and those calls kind of go in a rotation for the priority and the seriousness of them. So for any call that you put to 911, that's how they're sent out. They're sent to a call taker, then to a dispatcher, then to the police officer. Any information that you may need about our police department, you can always call the numbers there or visit our website at www.udpd.org. To report information to our police department up at RBUDPD, there's some other types that we have. We have drug information tip line, we have general crime tip line, and general information. Those three that are posted there, any information that you post there and you send that, those departments will handle that and they will respond back to you. Now, again, they are not monitored 24 hours a day. If you need immediate assistance with something that relates to that or any type of emergency, we ask that you call 911. Abandoned vehicles in the township. We get a lot of calls for this. In order for us, the police department, to consider a vehicle abandoned, there are a few things that must happen. First, the vehicle must be on a public roadway. The vehicle does not have a current state inspection or any state inspection. The vehicle also not registered in any state. Those two things are key for a vehicle to be considered abandoned. It has to have no insurance, and if it's not registered. Then the vehicle is rendered, if the vehicle is also rendered inoperable or a hazard, that can make it an abandoned vehicle. The vehicle is illegally parked over 48 hours after being verified by a police officer. It's considered abandoned. To report abandoned vehicles, the number is located there. And also we have an abandoned cars at udpd.org that you can fill out and send it. It goes to our community services. They will look into it. They will come out and look at the car. This is the key here. When someone reports an abandoned vehicle, it's going to take us a day or so to get there to actually investigate to make sure that it is not registered and it is out of inspection. And then we have to notify the legal owner of that vehicle, and we have to give them 10 days before we can take the car off of the street. So there's some things that I think a lot of people aren't really sure of. They think if they call up, we can automatically come out and take the car. We can't. We have to, number one, deem that it's not registered, it's not insured, and we have to give the registered owner 10 days to move the car before we can tow it. You go to the next one. There we go. This one I want to highlight is that we are actually currently hiring police officers. The applications are now available. They can be picked up at police headquarters located at 7236 Westchester Pike. Applications must be turned in by Thursday, April, is that Rosa? It's the side there. Can I see that date? At 14th, April 14th, I apologize, at 12 p.m. The physical agility test will be April 23rd of this year. The written test will be April 30th. And again, all that information is on our website at udpd.org/employment. So these are some of the events and activities we have planned for 2022. We are going to, now that we're out of the COVID restrictions, we're going to start our Citizens Police Academy back up. Excuse me. What is our Citizens Police Academy? Please, again, here, join us for a behind the scenes glimpse of the everyday life of law enforcement officers. It's 6 weeks long, and the class, we have it scheduled from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. one night a week. Each week is a different topic covered regarding law enforcement. You can contact Patty Oakes for information on that. The number's posted there, 610-734-7686. We will be announcing a start date in May. We're hoping to get it done in May, so look for that on our social media as well for the start date for the Citizens Police Academy. Our mountain bike division here, our mountain bike officers, I'm sure everyone has seen out in the township. Excuse me again. We are going to be hosting a Bike with a Cop. We're going to learn bike safety and the rules of bicycling. That's going to be hosted July 19th through July 26th, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. The first one will be at Nailers Run Park. We will do a second one August 10th through August 17th, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. That will be at Dermont Field. There will also be a car seat safety check for both events if anyone needs it at that time. Again, we will announce everything on our social media as well, but that's something to look forward to coming up. It's a really, really great class for people to get in. We also have our police and fire summer camp coming up that we, the police department and the fire department, do together. Last year was the first year that Derek and I did it. It was a great success, and we're looking forward to continue to build on it. It will be in July, sometime in the beginning of July, we hope. But again, more information and dates to come on that. Look on our website, follow our social media, and you can see that there was the class last year. It was a really good turnout, and we had a great time. The mayor had spoke about the American Rescue Plan funding. So some of the enhancement that we're looking to do with some of that money is a real-time crime intelligence center here. Real-time monitoring of cameras throughout the township, particularly in business areas and areas where crime is frequently being reported to us. These cameras will consist of stationary and mobile cameras. I attached 2 pictures there. I apologize for the Walgreens in the back, but that there you can see is one that we can move around, more of a mobile device. And the stationary there to the left, we're going to put them throughout the township in spots where we, again, frequently are being called or we have a high crime area. Also, part of that ARPA money, what we're looking to do is a real-time traffic calming devices. And if you can see those 2 there, I'm sure you've seen some of them on the left that we have already around the township. The ones on the right is what we hope to post on streets and on poles that where we get a lot of complaints. And these electronic speed signs, they count the number of vehicles and record the speed of the vehicles in real time. And what that allows us to do is that data is then sent to a website that we can review in real time, allow the officers to still be on the street, handling calls and doing other things, but they can log in and they can see the amount of cars, the time, and the speed they were traveling. So that's really going to help us. And it's going to be able to give accurate numbers for when, for an example, someone will call up and say, hey, we want a detail on Westchester Pike because 100 cars are driving 50 miles an hour down the street. Well, we can have that sign up there on the pole, the one to the right, and we can actually have an exact number of each car that went by there and the speeds they were going. So this is really going to help the police department. Another what we want to do with this ARP money is these generator light towers that you see there. They're balloon lighting. It will enable the police department to have lighting at crime scene, accident scenes, and whenever else artificial lighting is needed during emergency situations. These generators can also provide remote emergency power during storms and power outages. So for an example, somewhere in the township, a tree falls down, there's power out in that area, we can bring that there while the police respond and give some light to the residents when they need it until the power can get back up. Also part of the ARP money, Rose, thank you, if you could switch that, is 2 police vehicles here. These are pickup trucks. And what we want to utilize these for is to transport those aforementioned equipment that I showed you, the speed signs and the traffic signs, that we can put them in different parts of the township. Also can be utilized for accident investigation to carry all the equipment that has to go to those locations when we have a serious accident. We can put them right in the back of that pickup truck and travel them back and forth and move those signs around, which are really going to be useful. Also to overhaul, our records management system. So the police department has an outdated database software that we've been using for a while, and we've been upgrading it as we can. But with today's technology, we really need a new high-tech software that will encompass most of our other systems. It will add new, much needed analysis and tracking features. It will provide ease of use, enhanced security, off-site secure data storage, and a cost reduction due to the elimination of redundant services and storage that we're now using for the multiple services that we have. The new features will include a link analysis. What that is it's intelligent software imperative for the reduction of violent crime. It will allow us real-time data tracking, crime mapping, and analytical. The ability to track data and trends necessary for the development of personnel and utilization of police and police equipment. So for an example, if we have an area within the township where we see a high call volume for anything, we will be able to go in real time and look it up and give exact data, exact times, and exact dates. And we can put even to the hour of the day that these are occurring with all this new software. So this is really a wave of the future, and we want to be part of this. That concludes what we've done here. So I hope that's sufficient. And I guess, Derek, you're going to be up now, right?
That's right. Thanks, Tim. How's everybody doing? Thanks for coming out to the mayor's town hall meeting. This is the second one for me. So I hope that you find the information helpful. So on the agenda tonight, we're going to be talking about the mayor's goals, which you already heard the mayor talk about. We're going to talk about the 2021 incident response data. We're going to share the department's vision and mission statement and core values. I'm going to share some of the training that we've had, talk about the grants, our community outreach, and then our initiatives. Next. So as you know, everything that we do in the fire department is based off the mayor's goals, which you heard us talk about, which is reform, reinvestment, and revitalization. So what you hear today is going to all fall in line with the mayor's goals. So first off, 2021 incident response data, we responded to 2,831 incidents, which was a 25% increase in calls from last year. So last year, we responded to 2,271 calls. The top 3 types of fires that we responded to last year were building fires, automobiles fires, and appliance fires. Next, you'll see the breakdown of all the calls types for 2021. And false alarms was the top reason for us getting called out last year. And that's the reason why we're putting on putting up an ordinance, a false alarm ordinance, to try to recoup some funding. So that's something that's going to be coming up through city council to help us reduce the number of false alarm calls. Next number of calls was EMS calls, emergency medical calls. And we're getting more and more EMS calls because we have an older population. So those were the top two type of calls that we went to all of last year. Next. One of the things I'm proud of is that we put together a vision and mission statement, and this encompasses everyone within our department. We had someone from the firefighter rank, the officer rank, and also the volunteer ranks. So we all got together and sat down and came up with a vision and mission statement for the department. The vision statement is to be progressive and dynamic leaders in the all hazards emergency services industry. And our mission, our daily mission, is to provide efficient and professional fire and life safety services to every stakeholder in our community through an all hazards risk reduction, emergency response, training, teamwork, and continuous improvement. Additionally, core values, which I think is important because these are the things that drive us in our everyday service delivery to the community: dedication, honor, integrity, and professionalism. So those that aren't aware of the makeup of the department, we are a combination department consisting of 58 career staff, 93 qualified volunteers, and we operate out of 5 fire stations. Four of those fire stations are career and volunteer staff, and one of those stations is 100% volunteer. And we do this utilizing 8 engines, 3 ladders, and 2 rescue units. So training and professional development. One of the things we did last year was put together a department-wide training plan. And included in that training plan were training drills or monthly drills for the volunteers. And then we also incorporated what we call after action reports. And what that is after every fire that we have the companies that respond to submit an after action report to talk about what we did well and the things that we could do better. And this is part of our continuous improvement process. We also attended human resource training for substance abuse and harassment. All the career staff attended that training, and the goal is to offer that training to the volunteers in the near future. Grants and donations. We applied for a few grants. We received an Assistance to Firefighters grants, which allowed us to do some training. So we had a firefighter class, and we can recoup some of that money for our firefighter class. And then we also had Nfpa compliant firefighter physicals, which volunteers and career staff participated in. And what that does is make sure that we have a healthy workforce. And if any type of situations come up, we notify the individuals and they can get that taken care of to make sure, again, we have a healthy workforce. The goal is for everyone to retire safely and enjoy their retirements. We had an extension for our SAFER grant. So our SAFER grant is what you call Staffing and Assistant Firefighter Grant. And by us getting an extension, it allowed us to recoup another $150,000, which means some of those salaries that we had to pay our members were reimbursed. And then there's our smoke alarm programs. We had various grants throughout the community. We have a strong partnership with the Red Cross. Exelon donated some smoke alarms, and Home Depot. Again, these are all sources of what you call in-kind donations, where we can support our free smoke alarm program. Our smoke alarm program is an unfunded mandate, but with these donations, we can help keep our communities safe. So we appreciate those partnerships. Community outreach. One of the things I forgot to put on here is that police and fire camp that you heard Superintendent Bernhardt talk about. That was a big success as far as community outreach. And that's one of the ways we introduce police and fire careers to our younger members in the community. But we distributed over 200 pieces of literature and gave out 200 sack packs during the National Night Out. And we held, for Fire Prevention Month, we held at a barbecue and public information session, which was, the food was donated by Wawa, so that turned out good. And throughout the year, last year, we installed 241 alarms and 111 residences. So that's 241 more homes that are protected. Coming up in May, we're going to have another program with the Red Cross where we're going to distribute more smoke alarms. If you can't afford a smoke alarm, or you have a member that can't afford a smoke alarm, if you email headquarters@UDFD and submit your request, or call us at headquarters 610-734-7674 and give us your name, address, and phone number, we'll actually come out and install a smoke alarm for free. Initiatives and projects. So we've been working on it since the beginning of this year, last year rather, the commercial building fire inspection program. We're still kind of in the pilot phase, but that's coming along pretty good. We implemented an ordinance for vehicle accident recovery, and we started recovering reimbursement for those accidents where we can get reimbursed for the services we provide, including if we provide medical assistance, we can get reimbursement so we can restock our supplies. And then there's the Insurance Services Office, ISO. Right now, the township has an ISO rating of 3, and at the end of this month, they're going to come back in and reevaluate our department, and the goal is to reduce that rating from a 3 to a 2. And what that does is it helps our tax base for our commercial people, the people that have businesses in our township, helps reduce their insurance rates. During the year, we promoted a deputy chief and 3 captains, hired 10 new firefighters, and held an entry exam for firefighters. But we also lost 8 members to retirement. Apparatus and equipment. We were able to purchase 2 new deputy chiefs, and right now we have 3 new fire apparatus on order. And once we do that, we'll bring our fleet more up to date. So Nfpa standard says that your frontline apparatus should be no older than 15 years. And right now, the average age of our apparatus is 17 and a half years. So once we have our new apparatus, we'll be able to reduce that average age to about 7 years. And that will give us a little bit more life with our apparatus and equipment. All right, thanks for having us, Mayor. You're up. If anybody needs to contact me, you have my information up there. Mayor, I believe if you're speaking, we can't hear you.
Yeah, sorry about that. We're in the transition period between all Zoom meetings and in person, but I wanted to thank you, Chief Sawyer and Superintendent Bernhardt, because I'm really grateful to both of you because we're working closely together, and both of you have done a great job. But both of you didn't mention the neighborhood meetings that we've been having about like once a month over the last, it's been 2 years, an adjustment to COVID. But I would like to say that I really appreciate you showing up and meeting people in their neighborhoods. And
you mentioned that earlier when you came on first time. That's why I didn't re-mention it, but you're right. We have done a few community meetings outdoors to make sure everybody can attend. And we do appreciate those people that come out and share their concerns.
Yeah, and a couple of the cleanups, and also the administration with the fire department and council worked on the false alarm ordinance. So we're trying to get a handle on the false alarms, which you'd mentioned are the top, right? That's the top call that your department goes to. And no, this is good. This is going to leave us a lot of time for questions. Thank you for your presentations. They were really organized, and I appreciate, especially Tim was really racing through his, like talking really fast. But the slideshows are going to be available on our website after this, and this is also on our YouTube channel, so people can look back on this if they weren't able to make it at this time. As Chief Sawyer mentioned, the fire department is a combination department, which is very unique throughout the entire state. And I'd like to say that we really appreciate our volunteers and all the service that they commit to us. I mean, the volunteers, staff, the firehouses, on weekends, and that's kind of tough. They're doing a great job for our community, and we try and support them by subsidizing their training and also just in general getting all the equipment and apparatus to the department that they need. Some people have submitted questions like before this meeting, and we're going to start with those. And Tim, the first one is for you. Are there plans to add more street lights to certain streets?
We wouldn't be adding streetlights to any streets. What we will be doing is we will putting cameras throughout the township that will give us visibility to the activity that is on that street.
I'd just like to add to that, like if you're a resident or business owner, an employee that works here, if you see that a street light is out, please let us know. In general, whether it's abandoned cars or street lights that are out, we really are dependent on the community to help us be the eyes and ears of the community. If you could send notice of that to request@upperdarby.org, or you can make a call. I'm going to look up the number right now because I don't have it memorized. The request line is, so you can request at upperdarby.org, or you can call 610-734-7625 and just report that a street light is out. Ideally, you would find there's a number attached to each of the poles. If not, like just the cross streets would be really helpful. The same with abandoned cars, because if you live here, you see these cars that are not moving like way more often than a patrol car would, or code enforcement or something like that. So we really need the public's help to work to get all our streetlights working and get the abandoned cars moved off of our streets. So
Yeah, and Mayor, if I could, the abandoned car too, just to reiterate that if anyone sees a car that they feel is suspicious or they think it's abandoned, please call the 911 system and we can come out there. And if it poses an immediate threat, hazard, if it doesn't have windows, if there's flat tires, if there's people going in and out of it, if it doesn't have a license plate on it, there are times when we can tow it immediately off the street. So please just call and report that to us.
No, that's great. That's good information. Chief Sawyer, can you provide an update on junior firefighters and what the fire department's program is?
Absolutely. So there's a misconception out there about the fact that we don't have a junior firefighter program, or we ended the junior firefighter program. That is totally untrue. We do have a program, and there's only 2 stations currently, I believe station 74 and station 20, that even have junior firefighters in play. But basically, that program is ongoing. There's some requirements that have to be met for them to be junior firefighters. This program has been in place way before my existence, and it continues to be in place. One of the additional things we're doing, and I'm proud to say that the mayor added money to the fire department's budget so that we can start a Fire Explorer program. So we have already contacted Boy Scouts of America, which handles Explorer programs. And we met with the lead person, and we already have people within the department that had volunteered to be part of this program. And this year we should be putting together the Fire Explorer program. So that'll be another avenue for us to recruit volunteers. In addition to that, I did a presentation at Upper Darby High School and talked about not only careers in the fire service, the ability to volunteer as a firefighter in Upper Darby Township.
Okay, thank you. And Superintendent Bernhardt, can you share some advice to our residents about how to prevent catalytic converter theft?
Yes, absolutely. So we have been posting about that quite frequently on our social media. Again, it basic components to helping us try and catch these individuals, and it's not one group. So we have made arrests for this already this year and last year. We just ask that if you can park your car in well-lit areas, or if it's in your driveway, to keep your lights on. And if you hear or see anything suspicious, to call 911. No matter what it may be, let us come out and let us check. There are parts that you can buy online that a mechanic can attach to your catalytic converter to make it difficult to take off. We're seeing right now a pattern of smaller SUVs have been the most targeted vehicles for these catalytic converter thefts. Like I said, anything that you may see or you hear, regardless of what time of day and night it is, to please call 911. We've had thefts that have occurred in parking lots within the township of our business district, as well as on the public streets as well. So it's a few people have been arrested, but unfortunately, the times that we're in right now, the hard times that people have fallen on, it seems that it's increased because it's ready cash for them. And it only takes a few minutes for them to get out, cut that out, and then take it to a yard somewhere and sell it. So again, anything you hear, anything you see, please call 911. If your vehicle's in your driveway, if you have lights, you can keep your lights on, or a brighter light bulb, and please report any suspicious activity. I always say to everyone, you know your streets, you know your block, you know your neighborhood, you know your neighbors' cars and what they drive, and they're coming. So if something's not right, or if there's a car or two on the block that isn't there, or it's there for a short period of time, if you can get the tag on the car without putting yourself in any harm's way, get that tag or take a picture of it and notify the police, notify us, and hopefully that can help us to try and track down who it is. And again, if there is anything on your street suspicious that you hear, what we will also be doing I'll backtrack a little bit with the Real-Time Crime Center. We're going to be putting out something to all the residents and businesses in the township once we get this up and running, to give us access to all their cameras, or to send us those feeds when we ask for it. That way, hopefully some image or images are caught on those cameras that can, again, help us maybe to get a tag or a better description of the actors.
That's good. So Chief Sawyer, if you could explain the smoke detector program that we have, because I think it really has to be emphasized that it doesn't pertain to homeowners, right? And if you could just kind of reemphasize the program and the installation of the smoke detectors, I think that would be great.
Sure. So the smoke alarm program is a program to help people that can afford working smoke alarms. One of the major causes of dying in a fire is the fact that we don't have a smoke alarm in our homes and we don't get the early warning. So what we did was implement a program where we can install smoke alarms for free of charge to those that can't afford them in 1 and 2 family dwellings, not apartment buildings, because that's the responsibility of the landlord. But we install them for free. And the reason why we install those smoke alarms for free, because we want to make sure that they're installed correctly. And then while we're installing them, we'll have someone talk to the resident and explain to them how to test their smoke alarm, so that if they're cooking and their smoke alarm goes off, they don't take the smoke alarm down and disarm it. The smoke alarms that we install are 10-year lithium battery powered smoke alarms, and they have a hush button on them. So if you cook and burn toast like I do sometimes I burn my toast and the alarm is going off and crazy. What we say is you want to open your window to get rid of the smoke and hit the hush button. And what the hush button does, it disables that alarm for about 8 minutes to allow you to get all the smoke out of your house, and then it rearms itself. If you take that smoke alarm down, once we install it, especially a 10-year lithium battery powered smoke alarm, what happens is you disable that alarm permanently. And then when you need it, it's not serviceable. But for those that are renting homes, it's the responsibility of the landlord to put smoke alarms in. And if they have a problem, they can contact L&I, and L&I will contact the homeowner to instruct them to install a working smoke alarm. Again, these smoke alarms are provided free of charge. We account for them because a part of the agreement with the American Red Cross is that they'll supply us with smoke alarms as long as we tell them which homes we install them in, so they can keep track. One of the significant things about the Red Cross partnership is they have already installed more than 1 million smoke alarms across the country. So this is part of a national campaign that we partnered with. Again, as long as we can supply them with documentation where we put the alarm in at what home, the address, and the number of alarms, we can get resupplied with smoke alarms. Did I answer all your questions, Mayor?
I think so. Yeah, thank you.
All right, no problem.
Back to Superintendent Bernhardt. Can you share an update on where our community policing stations and our substations are throughout the township and what each of them do?
Sure. So we have one down on the 6200 block of Baltimore Pike at Baltimore and Church is the intersection down the right-hand side. We also have one on the unit block of 69th Street, the business district. We have one out in Pilgrim Gardens right now. We were moved from one location in Pilgrim Gardens. We're actually now between the school, we're in the school district office, and we have an office that's in between the school district and the Chicken and Pete's restaurant. We will hopefully in the next few months be going back to the front of the shopping center in Pilgrim Gardens where the new building was built there, and we will be on the ground floor there. We also, excuse me, anticipate having one in Barclay Square Shopping Center in the near future as well. The substations assist us so the officers don't have to always return back to police headquarters. In those substations, we have all the literature that we need, all the paperwork we need. We have the computers, the officers can do their work. And it's also for the residents and business owners, if they need anything, they can go into those community centers there and see a police officer or ask for some type of information. We have everything accessible there that anybody would need throughout the township. But more importantly, it's where the officers are. They can go in there and do their paperwork, and we have them spread out throughout the township. Again, the big reason for them is the community to access us, to be seen out there, and that the officers don't have to come back into police headquarters all the time.
And then there's also community policing station on, I think it's the 700 block of Long Lane.
So yes, we also have the 700 block of Long Lane. I'm sorry, I forgot that. And that's down there right past Radbourne Road on the right-hand side. And that we have a community affairs officer that's in there throughout the day and throughout the week. And we also, same thing there. We also have at that location a book, to give a book and to take a book as well, if anybody's interested in that.
Okay, great. Now here's a question for Chief Sawyer. Can you talk about the volunteer opportunities available to residents for the fire department and what sort of recruiting is going on with the different companies?
All right. So first and foremost, in addition to the recruitment efforts from the township, each volunteer company is responsible for recruiting members also. So this is not strictly a township responsibility. It's everybody's responsibility. So what, again, like I said, what we're doing is we're going to schools to recruit. I did a presentation at the high school. I believe when the website gets stood up, we have a new website. We'll be posting on the website opportunities for members to volunteer to be firefighters. But again, keep in mind, there is a commitment to be a volunteer firefighter in the township of Upper Darby, meaning that they have to go through training. They have to be certified at the firefighter 1 level at least, because we can't send untrained people into burning buildings. So part of that recruitment effort is we try to find schools that they can go to make sure they get their certifications so that they can volunteer safely and be productive members of the community. We had a pretty strong recruitment effort last summer when we started, we had the hiring process, and we had the highest number of applicants ever in the history of the Upper Darby Township Fire Department. So again, our recruitment efforts are ongoing. There are limitations because of state law and what we require of our members. Anyone that wishes to find out more about recruitment, they can actually email me at dsawyer, DSAWYER @udfd.org. if they're interested in becoming a volunteer firefighter, especially junior firefighters. I've been informed that some junior or younger members may have had some issues. If there's ever an issue with a young person trying to become a volunteer, they can, again, email me at udfd at, D Sawyer, DSAWYER at udfd.org. I've had people stop by my office occasionally and ask how they can become volunteers. But again, that information is readily available or will be readily available on our new website once it's posted.
So we have a question. I think that it encompasses both like police and fire and the administration, and that's speed bumps. That's a kind of a popular option for people to think about to stop people from racing through their neighborhoods. We did in 2020 install the first ever speed. It was a speed cushion, not a speed bump. So a speed cushion on Owen Avenue, which runs parallel to Lansdowne Avenue. In general, we have a list of requests for speed humps or speed, it's just traffic calming in general, because it is it seems like it's a common, I wouldn't say complaint, it's a common issue throughout different neighborhoods in Upper Darby Township. But when we do a traffic study, a traffic safety study, we use a traffic engineer. We also contact Chief Sawyer and Superintendent Bernhardt, because some of these streets are emergency streets, or we have to make sure that before we put up a speed bump or hump or a cushion, that our first responders can get through there in a good amount of time, that the speed bump or hump doesn't slow down our vehicles from arriving at a scene, a public safety scene where they're really needed. So I don't know, but if you would like to get your street or your block on the list, you can please send an email to request@upperdarby.org. And we do have, it's a pretty popular option for people to think about, like, how else can we stop people from driving crazy down our street? But I don't know if Superintendent Bernhardt or Chief Sawyer, if you want to talk about.
Sure, Mayor, I'll help with the comment on the speed humps in the township. So like you said, the traffic study has to be conducted. And one of the things, back to what I brought up earlier, is what we're looking to do here with these new speed signs. We can put them in different locations in the township to help with the survey and the study on that particular street, and find out exactly how many cars are coming down it and at what speeds those are coming down. That will help us fast track and enhance the study, and depending upon if the road is a local road or it's a state road as well too. But again, with this new equipment and devices, it will definitely help us. To reiterate what you said, Mayor, yes, if anyone wants their street or they have concerns with the street, they can go back and report it to one of our tips on our website, and we'll go out, we'll assign it to our traffic safety, and we'll have them monitor that. And again, hopefully in the near future, we have these devices that we can post there for a period of time and get an accurate number of cars and the speed they're traveling down those streets.
So while we're waiting for some more questions, let's talk about, again, the police and fire day camp. I think that's an excellent opportunity for our young people to come out. I believe it's a week long. They get to learn about police and fire as a source of an employment. And I think it's a great opportunity not only to do that, to learn about the job, but we teach them about fire safety also. So one of the things that we've learned about fire life safety education is that when you teach your kids or teach the students or kids about fire safety, a lot of times they'll go home and relay that message to their parents when they talk about what they learned today at the dinner table. So that's one of the methods that we use to educate our communities, use our young children, share fire and life safety information with them, and then they go home and share it with their parents, and that information gets to spread throughout the community. I like to make sure I reiterate that fire is everyone's fight. So we have a department of about, again, 58 career and another 30 to 40 volunteers, but we have a township of about 85,000 residents. So we need everybody to participate in this fight to keep our communities safe. And if you can make sure that you and your family members are doing the right things, in addition to having a smoke alarm, have a fire escape plan, and you want to make sure you practice that fire escape plan to get out when you do have a fire, we'll be a much safer community. So I just wanted to add that in, Mayor, while we were waiting for more questions.
Yeah, Derek, and I agree 100%. I think we would both agree that what a huge success that was, and working with the kids was awesome. And having the kids see what we do and how the officers interact was awesome as well. I know the mayor is having some technical difficulties there. I can tell that she's frozen. I'm not really sure there. So I again want to take the opportunity. I want to thank everyone. I want to thank all the residents of Upper Darby Township for the support they have shown the police department, and I'll speak for Derek and the fire department. It's been overwhelming. We really appreciate it. It's been a tough couple years in public safety. We've all gotten through it, the fire department, the police department, and it's with the support of the residents of Upper Darby Township. So I want to thank you for that. And we, now that the COVID's over, I think that's a sigh of relief for everyone that we're out of this COVID and we can start doing things. And again, I know Derek and I, the fire department and the police department, we want to get out there. We really want to engage the community. We want to start doing, I know we're going to do the things that we spoke of, but we want to get back out. You'll see me out there on the bike. I'm going to be riding with our mountain bike officers. We have a program that we've established with the school district, which is going really, really well. And again, it's to engage the community and engage the youth here. And I know Derek had touched on it. You know, we're going to have our Citizens Academy. We're doing the TAPS program. The fire department has programs in place, and Derek had mentioned it. We want our community to stay here. We want them to get involved in public safety, and we want to show them what it's all about. And hopefully that, you know, one day, Derek, somebody sitting in the seats that you are that came from the community, and they can say, hey, I remember Chief Sawyer or Superintendent Bernhardt, they were engaging me when I was in middle school or high school. So, you know, that's our goal here, and that's our plan. I'm not making any excuses. The last 2 years were difficult with COVID, but, you know, you're going to see Chief Sawyer and myself out there, our departments out there a lot more, and just engaging. And we want to listen to you, because we're not going to grow and get better unless we listen to you. So we want your ideas, we want your suggestions, and we want you to work with us and understand we're human. We're going to make mistakes, but we will correct them, and we will work with you together. And, you know, Derek and I have a great team in play. We are a great team, and we have great teams below us, and we just want to enhance everything. So I just want to thank you. I want to thank everyone for the opportunity to do this tonight. I hope we answered your questions. We will be doing more of them, so the questions can continue, and you will see us out there. And again, back to the COVID, you're going to see us out there in the township, you know, during the week and weekend. So please, I mean, I always say smiles are free. Put one in your face. I'll say hi to you, say hi back. If you ever see me out there, just ask a question, or if you need anything, I'm always here. My door is always accessible. The website, the phone numbers are there. So please reach out. And I promise you, we're going to reach out, and we're going to do everything we can to serve you and make this town a great town that it is, and continue to grow. And I want to thank everyone. Derek, I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, thanks. I want to thank everyone also. And I'm looking forward to meeting everyone in person when we start having our live town halls, now that COVID has subsided a little bit. So again, like Tim said, if you see me on the street, stop and speak, say hi, we can have a conversation. Again, it's important for you to take care of your family members. Those that were not able to attend this town hall meeting, share the information with them, make sure they have working smoke alarms, give them the number to call if they don't have working smoke alarms. I believe there was a question about CO alarms. We don't normally install CO alarms, but we do have a limited number of combination smoke / CO alarms. So If you can't afford one, give us a call. If we still have some in stock, we'll definitely install it for free, again, free of charge. Again, thank you everyone for coming out and joining us, and I hope to see you guys in the future.
Yeah, and on behalf of the mayor, I apologize. She ran into some technical difficulties, but if we didn't get to your question tonight or you have further questions, please, like they all said, don't hesitate to reach out. And if you would like to reach out to the mayor's office, you can do so at mayor@upperdarby.org. And thank you again, Superintendent Bernhardt and Chief Sawyer. The mayor really appreciates all your hard work and the hard work of our first responders. So with
Absolutely.
that, yeah, have a good night, everyone.
Have a
Thank
good
you.